How's it going, y'all? Navy Sooner here. Today, it's a Poverty Pony Dissipator. This is the Anderson Manufacturing Dissipator upper receiver. I chose to do just the upper receiver rather than the full rifle. We'll get to that later on, but this is the Anderson Manufacturing Dissipator upper receiver. Before we get into it, we'll kind of discuss what a dissipator is. You can go into other videos and watch on what the true dissipator and all this stuff is. But to me, in my opinion, a dissipator is a 16-inch rifle with a rifle length gas system. Some people say that they have to have a front sight post to be a dissipator. Some people say that they have to have a front sight post and a carry handle to be a dissipator. I say 16 inches with a rifle length system. People discuss that it's because of the distance between the front sight post and the rear aperture for the rear sight. I really don't think that's what it was about. Everybody says, oh, it was about that. And really it wasn't. It was about having shorter overall length rather than 20 inches. And that's what they had at the time. It didn't really have anything to do with the sight radius. So that's, in my opinion, what it was about. And having the rifle length on a 16-inch, that's what I really believe, in my opinion, a dissipator is. So people can go down in the comments down below and type that I'm an idiot, but at least be nice about it, because if you don't, then screw you. It's just my opinion. Sorry, don't know that you don't understand that people are allowed to have opinions. There's other dissipators on the market recently. I mean, you have the older dissipators from Colt, and then like the faux dissipator that Bushmaster had, but then now you have other dissipators on the market. Delton just recently stopped manufacturing a real dissipator which had a rifle length system on a 16-inch. From what I've read online on like Reddit and stuff like that, people would have to go in and change up the gas port size because they weren't able to function, or they'd have to get lighter springs and buffers and whatnot. Now, Palmetto State Armory sells a faux dissipator where you have either a mid-length or carbine length gas system underneath a plastic handguard. And so it's not a true dissipator, it's like a faux dissipator. Then you have the KAK Industries that has a 16-inch barrel with a rifle length gas system. There's no front sight post, so it's got a free float handguard, and that's just how they have it. They don't call it a dissipator, but in my eyes, 16 inches with a rifle length system, dissipator. How does it come from the factory? Well, it comes with the upper receiver, obviously. Bolt carrier group, charging handle. Bolt carrier group is cut a little different than most other bolt carrier groups, but I mean, it's actually a mil-spec style. There's multiple styles that they're cut. Then you have the plastic handguard, those plastic ones, and I took it off and put on a quad rail here. Then it comes with a 16-inch 4150 chrome moly vanadium with a nitride finish. It's got a 1 1/8 twist on it, and it's got a government profile. But if you go and look at Hoplophile's video that he did on it, I believe it was either on his website or on TFB TV's web, on his page or TFB's page, and it says that it's a government profile, but he wasn't able to get certain attachments to be able to use the plastic handguards on it correctly, so it's not really a true government profile. Now, if you got it as a rifle, the lower would be a A2 style lower. I wanted the upper just because I wanted to go with a carbine style or M4 lower style for more compact. The reason that they went with 16/20 back in the day was because they wanted to be more compact. And then, I mean, you can't get more compact than carbine, or, I mean, there's other ways to make it more compact, but I mean, over a A2 rifle buttstock style, that's the reason I went with the carbine. For accuracy, I did 50 yards with this red dot here, and I got 1 to 2 inch groupings off of a tripod standing. And I mean, that's not great, but, and I was getting some that were bigger, some that were smaller, but you can probably about 1 to 2 with this red dot, no magnifier, and my crappy eyes. I'm thinking that it can do better. I don't know, didn't test it, so I can't say that it's a 1 MOA gun that everybody really wants. Plus, I mean, really, when it comes down to it, the standard for AR-15s isn't 1 MOA, so Sorry, guys. It's just not. So how does it shoot? Well, I have a Springco spring in here that I have a white Springco spring in here with an H2 buffer, and this thing has very light recoil. It feels like my 12.5-inch that has a mid-length gas system that has very light recoil, hardly has any muzzle rise, and feels like Hop said it best on his video, that it feels like you're shooting a gun with a brake, but it doesn't really have a brake. It's got the A2 on the end of it. So I mean, it was very light shooting, and I've put about 500 rounds through it. The only malfunctions I really had with it were light like steel cased 223 stuff. And if you change out the H2 and put in a carbine, it worked just fine with those steel case that weren't very hot ammunition. So it worked great except for the steel case with the H2 buffer. So that really is on me. How I have it set up here is I have a Monstrum quad rail that I dropped into it. It's very tight. Had a hard time getting this in here. Marred up the Delta ring, but I mean, it got in there, and I don't really care about looks as long as it works. So that's really it. I mean, it's kind of heavy with the Monstrum in it, but I did put that Monstrum quad rail on here. The optic that I went with was the Vortex Strikefire 2. Some people like to say that these are not very good. I have no problem with it. In fact, I actually can do a little bit of passive with it. And I wanted to go with like the Comp M2 look for, say, a retro style gun, I guess you could say. And it works great. It's just a little updated version, I guess you could say, of the Comp series, and you have push button for brightness and on and off. For the sling, for the front, I have a QD mount here, but I don't really like that, so I'm not really going to use it. Probably going to take that off, and I was just going with the paracord way off of the front sight post, and it works pretty good. My rear sight is the knockoff, it's a knockoff of the Daniel Defense rear sight, the fixed rear sight, and screw Daniel Defense and them being cucks for the ATF. That's why I have no problem purchasing knockoff stuff for that company, because their owner, like, for the ATF, that's, yeah. Overall, this is fun to shoot. It's actually fairly quick because no muzzle rise, and it's kind of heavy with this hand guard on here and with the trigger that I have. And it's a 2-stage, 4.5 pound trigger, and it was just really fun to shoot. So that's it for the Anderson upper receiver, the Anderson Dissipator upper receiver. Now that you're here at the end, I would like to say that I have started to get affiliates. First affiliate that I have is from Bear Creek Arsenal. Yes, I know they aren't probably perceived as the greatest thing in the world, but they are sending out an upper receiver for me to do a review on for later on in the future. And if you would like to purchase affordable upper receivers, I will have an affiliate link there. I'll start getting more affiliates, and I'll be putting in a link down below to where you go to my affiliates page, and you can click on the different affiliates and go purchase stuff from them, and it can help out the channel. Other ways to help out the channel, if you would like, you could donate to the channel. You don't have to. If you would like to, out of the greatness of your heart, there's a way to donate down below. Like, share, subscribe, do that whole thing. Send these videos to people. Definitely do the comments, because comments, they help out the algorithm. No matter what you say, you could say, I have no clue what, just random crap. Just don't be an asshole. Say that down below in comments. That'd be great. Well, that's it. Navy Sooner out.